Hello everyone. Today I'm going to show you how you can actually get chili done in 15 minutes if you want to. From a frozen 1 pound block of hamburger salad. Listen, frozen. I'm putting it into my Epicure steamer that I love so much. And I am actually going to use the tray in it, which I seldom do. I use the tray for bacon. I use the tray when I'm going to do multiple layers of food, like my whole meal, my veggies and my salmon or whatever both together on there. But I've sealed my lid on. For those of you that already own this steamer, the key to remember which way the lid goes, well, it's square. It will fit either direction. The best fit and seal is if you make sure that these vents are not pointed at your handles. And that's just mostly for your own safety because, one, it will seal the best, but if you pick it up and if it does have something heavy in it and it's silicone, it will give, especially after it's warm, then that seal or that steam is going to vent out this way and not towards your hand. So that's just a good tip to remember. So anyway, I'm going to throw this in the microwave, frozen there, for 6 minutes. Everyone has to kind of check out their own microwave at the speed that they want. But while that's going, I am going to take just my can of original flavored chili beans here and dump them in my food processor. Now, if you love beans, obviously you could skip this step. But I know that sometimes there are people in the house that don't like the texture of beans or just don't like beans. And so if you want that extra fiber of the beans and the flavor of them, a way to get that is to food process them. This was just a can of tomatoes that I home canned, but I left it pretty chunky. And again, sometimes we have to hide those great things in our food from children or spouses that don't like those textures and things.
Not true.
So I am going to just puree this up here in the food processor. Now, it's hidden. No one will know that there are beans in there, your chili, if they don't want them or don't want that texture, and yet they'll still get the nourishment, the nutrients from those beans. I've also got just a can of plain old tomato sauce that I'm going to add to it for a little more liquid. And when it's done here, I'm going to get the cha-cha chili out and mix that in there. While that is cooking, I am going to stop the video and I will come back to you in just a few minutes. And we're back. That was our 6 minutes of chili cooking ground beef, frozen ground beef in steamer. So I'm going to pull this out and show you what I've got here. I couldn't get the paper off because it was so frozen, so I have that to throw away. Sorry about that. But here is that 1 pound of ground beef sitting on the steamer tray here. I'm going to lift it right out on the tray. And here's why I love using the tray. Now I had some pretty lean ground beef, so there's not a lot of fat and stuff, but there is some. So I could just take here an old container.
Tammy, why is the ground beef so lean?
Because we purchased our cow from a wonderful farmer, and he does grass-fed beef, and that is partly why our meat is so lean. So I'm just gonna scrape up some of that yuck off of there from the fat that cooked to it. And did you see how I could just dump that from the corner of my steamer right into my throwaway container? And that's done now. Now I'm just going to take this and dump it right into my steamer, throw my tray in the sink to be washed, and watch this. This is our ground beef separator. I've used several of these in the past. I've always liked them, but never as much as my Epicure one. It has 3 prongs only, and they're tapered. And the reason I love it so much is it grounds it just as well as any others that I've used, but this one washes up so much better. I'm just gonna take this now and chunk up my ground beef a little bit here. And no, it's not quite done. I didn't expect it to be. Now, the cool thing about this is today, yes, I'm making chili, but I could take this ground beef right now at this point in time, and I can make tacos. I can make sloppy joes, pretty much whatever I want out of it, and just add my seasoning right now to it and stir that in there. And I would have it done in about another, as pink as some of that is, probably 2 more minutes. So think about this. I already did 6, 2 more, 8 minutes, right? All right, so I'm gonna show you this now that I got this all kind of chunked up here. So you can see what it looks like and see how you don't have it quite done. Now, like I said, if I wanted to, because I told you at the beginning of today, I was going to show you how to make chili in about 15 minutes. What I could do right now is I could throw in here, remember my ground up beans and tomatoes, and I had that other can of tomato sauce I threw in there, and my seasoning. Throw this all back in the microwave for probably, I would say maybe 8 minutes, and boom. My chili would be done hot, would taste like it had been simmering all day long, and could serve it. Now I have got lots of time before we're gonna eat. It's only 10 in the morning. I'm just getting this done so it's out of the way. And so I'm actually going to just put the lid back on my steamer, throw this back in the microwave for 2 more minutes. That will allow that hamburger to finish cooking. And what I have done while we were cooking the first time was I got my crock pot out. I have it with one of those liners. If you have never used these liners for your crock pot, you're missing out. They are the easiest thing. I'm all about easy cleanup. My steamer will clean up easy, and now my crock pot's gonna clean up easy because I'm gonna be able to take this liner out at the end of our meal, throw it away, and boom, my crock pot's clean. I might wipe it down a little bit from the steamer and stuff. Oops, forgot the blade. But I've got that. I'm just throwing that in there so it's ready. Getting everything all prepped and set for my hamburger here. Cha-Cha Chili is one of my absolute favorite Epicure meal solutions. I wish you could smell the seasonings here. Look in there. It is so good. Everything's in there that you need. The dried up peppers and things and onions that make it taste so good. The ingredients, just so you can hear this, are onion, red bell pepper, green bell pepper, chili powder, some spices of salt, garlic, rice concentrate, tomato, garlic spices, and ancho chilies. All mixed in there. But I'm going to just dump that in. Now, I know from experience that this is enough for me, but John likes a little more heat in his chili. So I'm going to take just a teaspoon here of the taco seasoning that comes in the jar. And then that way I didn't have to open up a whole packet and reseal it. And throw that in there to add just a little bit more heat to our chili for us. But that's all done. And look, my 2 minutes are done. I'm going to show you this hamburger here now. Scramble it up a little bit more. I see just a wee little bit of pink, but it is so little, and I know this chili's going to simmer all day that I could just let it in there. But remember, if I wanted to cook this in this less than 20 minutes, that 15 minutes, it would be more than done with the seasonings and everything in there. And that's just, that 8 minutes that I would have put it in there for was just to get all of those seasonings milled about and stirred and heated together really well with the seasonings blend. But there is that hamburger done. frozen pound of hamburger done in 8 minutes. So now I'm just gonna dump this right in there. See how clean that is? That'll be nothing to wipe out with a little bit of dish soap and wash. I could get a real spoon out, but why bother? It'll be another utensil to wash, right? Easy cleanup. That's what we're after. So I've milled that about. Now remember I mentioned that this had some rice concentrate in it. That's what's going to make this really, really thick. So I'm going to take my can of tomato sauce here and fill it about halfway and add about a cup of water to it, because maybe not even a cup, maybe half a cup. As it cooks today, I can add more water if I need to. And I like my chili kind of thick, but this will get really super thick if I don't put any water in there. But boom, I'm done. So right now, because I haven't cooked all of the tomatoes and let them still in together and got everything hot, I had chili done in less than 10 minutes from start to finish. If I wanted to add 5 more minutes to it, we could be ready for a meal of chili that didn't have to cook all day. But since I have all day, we're just gonna let it sit here in the crock pot and simmer today.
Take power to your...
Thanks for joining me.